Hey everyone, Dave here, and today we're making the world's best brownies. Well, at least according to Google. We're gonna check out what Google has to say are the world's best brownies, and we're gonna cook them today. As always, we just simply Google the best recipe, and then we cook the first result that Google gives us. Because if the Google SEO says it's the #1 choice, then it's gotta be the best in the world, right? And it looks like Cafe Delights is... My dog's eating breakfast. Molly, are you done? You're a very loud eater. She could have her own ASMR channel where she's just eating food. Okay, you good? All right, anyway, so it looks like Cafe Delights is the winner today. They've won before. They must have pretty good SEO optimization, but that's not what we're here for. Oh, look, they have a quote at the top. It says, "World's best fudge brownies is my best brownie recipe. Perfect, crisp, crackly top, super fudgy center, chewy or gooey in all the right places, studded with melted chunks of chocolate." Hey, that sounds good, guys. This sounds good. I'm excited about this. I love a good brownie. My kids are pumped up. I got 3 kids. They're brownie-aholics, so let's get into it. First of all, let's check out our ingredients. They're pretty standard for brownies. We've got salt, actually chocolate chunks, because it says, calls for like large chunks of chocolate. Light brown sugar, which I guess I could take out of my giant Ziploc here. I didn't want it to spill all over the place. Vanilla extract, veggie oil. Okay, so it calls for high quality cocoa powder. Normally I would get the Hershey's cocoa powder because it's cheaper, but my wife was doing the ordering for me and she saw high quality, so she ordered this Ghirardelli 100% cocoa. Spared no expense, just like the guy from Jurassic Park. And I don't know, I feel like we should use the expensive stuff because it calls for high quality, and I think everyone knows that this is the standard low quality stuff. It also calls for melted butter, which I've pre-melted because it says melted and cooled. So I melted it a couple minutes ago, a cup of it, and it calls for 4 eggs at room temperature, which I've had sitting out for a little while here to prep for the recipe. I'm so prepared today. It's really exciting to be this prepared. And then of course, sugar and flour. Staples in any brownie recipe. Now we shall combine these ingredients and make the world's best brownies. I also have a cooking pan here. I do like how it says world's best fudgy brownies. I didn't even type in fudgy, but these are the winners, the fudgy brownies. So I hope they're amazing. So wow, there's a lot of words, which is probably how they have such good SEO, but at the very, very bottom, like always, you have a recipe. I've got my computer here if you can't see it. So first it says preheat the oven to 350. I've already done that. You just hit bake on the oven and set it to 350. I figure you guys know how to preheat an oven. So, and this isn't supposed to be overly educational, but it should be easy enough for you to follow along if you want to try these with me. Hopefully they are amazing. Now, oh, and let me tell you this about the butter. It's unsalted. It's unsalted butter. It is not salted butter. So if you're following along, make sure you get unsalted. Now, the first step is to actually butter the dish, or actually it says to grease the pan. And what I'm gonna do to grease the pan is I'm just gonna use some butter that I have and just grease it this way. There's a million ways you can grease a pan. There's different papers you can use, parchment paper, which I accidentally used wax paper one time and everyone laughed at me. I don't really know the difference between the two. So I am not a professional cook. I like to say that every episode, just as a reminder, before you write your very angry comments. I think it's always good to remind you that I am not proclaiming to be a professional. What I am proclaiming to be is a dad who's gonna cook some brownies for his kids. He went to Google, he looked up best brownies, and now he's gonna try to cook them and see how it comes out. And the kids will be the real judges. I will give my opinion too. I love brownies, but you know, the kids are the ones who really eat brownies all the time, so they'll be a better judge than me, and definitely will at least bring in my youngest daughter. She's 8, and I think 8 is right when your brownie palate is at its peak, so she should be an excellent judge of if this is the world's best brownie. So it says to grease an 8 by 12 pan. I think this is 8 by 12. I don't know. I could use my cell phone to measure it. Yeah, this might be more like 6 by 12, but it'll be all right. It doesn't really matter the pan size. You just, as long as you watch it and make sure that it cooks through, doesn't burn, you should be fine. Okay, now step 1 of this recipe is to combine our melted butter, which I have right here. And I will do that. So make sure you melt that butter and then let it cool for a little bit, just so it's not scorching hot. Put it in your bowl. And then the recipe is asking us to add, let's see, the oil and the sugars in a medium bowl. Okay, so oils and sugars. What are oils? This is an oil. And then this is a sugar. This is the brown sugar, and then we've got the normal sugar. Okay, so we're gonna add all this to that bowl with the butter. Let's go find our measurements. So for the oil, what's 2 tablespoons? I just washed a bunch of the dishes, so I have to go like get them. But okay, so here's my table. Well, the oven's ready. Preheated to 350. And I think that changes if you're at different altitudes, but I'm not a source of that information. Google will answer that question too. All right, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Let's do that first. Brand new vegetable oil, cracking the lid on. And I'm doing it over this cup because I'm bound to fail like I did and spill it everywhere. One, you know what, I'll bring it closer so that it doesn't go so, oh my gosh. Okay. So now that I've wasted a bunch of vegetable oil, actually no, you know what? I can put that back maybe and try not to spill it on the ground. There you go. All right, so veggie oil, where's the lid? I don't want to spill it all over the place. Oh my gosh, okay, you'd think I do this stuff on purpose. I really don't, but I just dropped the lid of the vegetable oil into all the overflow vegetable oil. So now the lid is covered with vegetable oil and gonna get all over the place. So I'm gonna go wash this and then I'll be back. Listen, I see the merit of all these YouTube channels where everyone is cooking in the most pristine fashion in the world. I get that. Let me get my sugar, 1 1/4 cups. But I also think when you actually like break it down, the percentage of cooks who can cook like these super high-end professional cooks can't be, ooh, there's some noise. Can't be that high. This is a lot of sugar, is this right? 1 1/4 cups of white sugar, and I'm adding that to the butter. That is a lot of sugar. There's 1 cup, and here's 1/4. I think in reality, most people are probably as mediocre as cooking as me. Okay, so 1 1/4 cups of sugar is added, then I need a cup of packed, is that right? Packed light brown sugar. So yeah, I think that in reality, most cooks are probably just like me. I think, at least that's what I tell myself to make myself feel better about how much of like a non-pro I am. I watch people like Binging with Babish cook like a decadent masterpiece in 60 seconds, and I'm really a cup of brown. You know what I'm realizing as I cook this? Brownies have a lot of sugar. My kids are gonna be delighted about this. I just put a cup of packed brown sugar on top of the 1 1/4 cups of normal sugar. So yeah, this pure sugar. My hands are actually sticky already, so I'm gonna go wash them. Stand by. Okay, so full disclosure, when it comes to brownies, I can't even remember if I've ever cooked brownies like this, which is probably why I'm being so surprised by the amount of sugar. Because I think, you know, generally, what I've done in the past to make brownies is I just go to the store and buy the like $1 brownie mix kit. Add 2 or 3 eggs, add some vegetable oil, boom, you've got brownies. Look at this, this is insane. This is literally like a sugar slurry. Here, look at this, guys. Let's get an extreme close-up of the sugar. I mean, that is a wild amount of sugar. Yeah, so I guess this is probably what's in it, right? In a normal like brownie mix that I buy at the store. I just don't see it firsthand that it's literally just a sugar pie. Dare me to eat it? It's gonna be good though, I'm excited. And since I pretty much always just buy the box, and I'll buy like all the variants of box, the caramel ones and the chocolate chunk and the walnut. You know what, this actually seems to be calling for a mixer. Let me get my mixer. Since I'm always buying the box kits, it'll be actually really interesting to see what my perspective is on this brownie. Like, this is gonna tell us if it's worth it to spend all the extra time that would be required to actually cook it from scratch. I don't know that it's cheaper. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's not cheaper. Pretty sure it'd be cheaper to just buy the box stuff than to do it this way. I remember hearing something about some Mandela effect thing where people call these the wrong thing. Like these are not a spatula, or these are a spatula, and the thing you cook and flip pancakes with is not a spatula. It's very confusing, I don't know. So I've just put that all into my mixer bowl because this basically is telling me in the next step, after I add the eggs and the vanilla, that I need to beat for a minute, and I don't wanna do that by hand, so I'm gonna add my eggs next. That's the next step, 4 eggs. And if you wanna see me juggle eggs to middling success, make sure you check out my world's best pancake recipe. Okay, so I'm breaking these eggs here. My camera's a little weird, guys. I'm not a pro cameraman. I'm pro at almost nothing, but I'll try anything. 1, 2, 3. Man, what am I a pro at? I'm mediocre at all, but that just makes me an everyman, so I'm more relatable, right? I own my mediocrity. All right, so we're gonna add the 4 eggs to the bowl, or to the mixer bowl thingy, and then we're going to add, I put it in the bowl first just in case I get shells in there. Then we're gonna add the vanilla. How much vanilla do we need? 1 tablespoon. All right, so we add our 1 tablespoon of vanilla to this, and try not to go over the top. Oh man, I'm such a fast pourer. There we go. And we're good to go. So now we're gonna put this in the mixer and we're gonna beat it for 1 minute. Like Michael Jackson. Beat it, and go. Look, you can see it in the close-up camera view. Do you like that? All right, so beat it for 1 minute. Seems long, but whatever. Ah! Oh gosh, I turned it the wrong way. Okay, holy cow. So I was cleaning up a little. A minute passed, I wasn't looking at it, but now that I'm looking at it, man, I definitely spilled some. It's completely changed what it looks like. It's really interesting. So, oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. There's there's two little switches. One opens it and one starts it. I'm trying to open it, but I keep turning it on. Okay, let me show you this. I'm gonna turn it a little so you can really see it. Look how much lighter it got, guys, in that 1 minute. So I guess that's what you're looking for. It does say in the recipe to beat it for 1 minute until it lightens up. And so we definitely got that result. It's definitely lighter, and we're gonna let that sit there for a minute and work on the dry ingredients. I did clean up my area a little bit, so it'll be a little bit easier to work here. All right, so what it says to do is to add the flour, cocoa powder, and salt. So flour, we're looking for how much? 1 cup of flour, so that's easy enough. Just take 1 cup of flour and add it in. 1 cup of flour. Flour, cocoa powder. How much cocoa powder do we need? 1 cup. So we're gonna use the fancy stuff, the Ghirardelli. I have a hard time believing that this is different in any way, shape, or form than the Hershey stuff. It's just a fancier brand name. And yeah, I guess if we're gonna buy into the branding, this should be higher quality, but I don't know if I buy it. Got my cell phone notifications going off. How unprofessional. Add that to here. So we've got a cup of flour, cup of baking powder. What is this? Unsweetened cocoa powder is what it's called. And then the salt, what a mess, ugh. Okay, let me wash my hands up here. All right, so the next step is 3/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna tell you how I do it, and I know a lot of you are fine at math, but if you're not, or you struggle with math, that's not a problem. So for 3/4, what I do is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then I do a half. 1/4 plus 1/2 would be 3/4. And I don't know, I think just assuming someone would know that is maybe an overreach, because we all have gaps in what we know. I do for sure. All right, so we're gonna stir that up and basically integrate it all together. It does say to mix them. And then we're gonna gently fold these into the wet ingredients. And honestly, I think we're done with our mixer at this point, because the recipe is using terms like gently fold, do not overbeat, that sort of stuff. And so basically this mixer is only good for like aggressive work, in my opinion. And I think I'm gonna have to do it by hand if I wanna be gentle. All right, so we're gonna gently fold it in, which means I'm gonna combine it. I don't know if I should have done it all at once like that, but I did. Combine our dry ingredients with this slurry of sugar. Oh man, it's going all over the place. And just kind of slowly work it together with this spatula. I don't know, what do you call this thing? Do you call it a spatula? That's what I call it. Okay, so you know what I think cosmic brownies, okay, at the grocery store, if you know what I'm talking about, are really terrible. And I just wanna say that controversial thing with everyone here, everyone listening. I'm gonna come out and say it. Cosmic brownies are weird and gross, and they taste like preservatives. And I am I'm not adverse or against or opposed to preservatives or the taste of them. I eat all types of terrible for me food. But I'm telling you, I am not a fan of the cosmic brownie. So there was actually an argument on one of my videos about whether or not bad food exists or unhealthy food exists. It was interesting. Some people were saying there's no food that's bad for you if you eat it in moderation. Some people were saying that there's foods that are clearly bad for you. I don't know. I have no opinion on it. I just thought it was an interesting topic. So look at this. This is actually, at first it was looking like all powdery, like it would never come together, but now it's like really starting to come together nicely. Look at that. That looks amazing. That looks really good. I'm getting excited about these brownies, I'll tell you that. So what do you put on your brownies? I like to put whipped cream. I mean, I put whipped cream on everything. Whipped cream is like, you know, as important of a condiment as salt, I would say. So every table should probably have salt, pepper, and whipped cream. Maybe a little Parmesan cheese too. That's kind of the staples of dinner. I jest. So we're just gently folding this all together until it's like a beautiful chocolate brownie mix. Now you're not supposed to, it's so interesting because when I was a kid, my mom always told me not to eat the brownie batter or the cake batter because of the eggs. But now everyone's telling me it's because of the flour, not the eggs. It's interesting. But yeah, so we've got this really nice integrated brownie mixture. It's looking awesome. We're gonna stop there. It calls for 7 ounces of chocolate chunks. This package is 11.5. What is a random guy like me to do to figure out the 11 ounces? I could weigh it. Let's see, 7. So let's, man, that's difficult. That's harder math than I want to do. 11.5 ounces. So if we round it up to 12, 7 is a little more than half of 12. So it's more than half the bag, I guess. So I guess I'll just pour most of the bag in here. Sure, we'll say that's 7 ounces. I don't know. And then it says on top of that we're only going to fold in 3/4 of this. So we're going to kind of wing it here and just add, I don't know, that much of the chocolate chunks, and then we're gonna fold them in. When they say fold them in, I think it just means gently work them in like this. I don't think you're actually supposed to take them out and fold them like a piece of paper. I feel like that would make a pretty big mess, but that's just my opinion. One man's opinion, and I'm pretty sure it's correct. Rarely, but every now and then it's correct. All right, so those are all in. Now we pour it into the pan. Let's do it. I had set the pan over there because it was in the way, and now we're gonna just dump it in here. I hope this pan is big enough. I'm a little concerned. It's not very deep. Oh my goodness. These two look really, really good. Was I supposed to work out all the lumps? There's like tiny lumps a little bit, but nothing crazy. I think it's okay. It said not to over mix, so it's always a fine line with this sort of thing. Fine line between, you know, over mixed, under mixed, all that stuff. Okay, so that's pretty much all of our batter. We're gonna spread it out and kind of make sure it's evenly in this pan. Okay, there we go. So it's all in there, looks amazing. Now I'm betting, pour batter into the prepared pan, smoothing top out evenly and top with the remaining chocolate pieces. So I did not save enough chocolate pieces to, I mean, maybe I did. Depends on how much you want on there. I'm just kind of, and I can grab it. I've got more in the thing here. I mean, dude, there's no such thing as too much chocolate. Let's be real. And who am I calling dude? I don't know. It's the royal dude. Here we go. You know, I actually just watched The Big Lebowski for the first time. I know. Comment below, tell me I'm crazy. I just haven't gotten around to it. And it came out like when I wasn't allowed to watch R-rated movies. And, you know, it's just I never went and caught it. All right, so those are kind of good. That's kind of what the picture looks like. Okay, so it says bake for 25 to 30 minutes for just under done, fudgier texture, or 35 to 40 if you like your brownies well set and firm. I mean, I think 30 minutes is what we're gonna do for my preference, like not underdone, not too firm, maybe 31 minutes, kind of happy medium. So I'm gonna throw it in the oven. All right, so those are in, they're gonna be in for 31 minutes. Let me just read ahead and see if there's anything else we need to do. Okay, so once they're done, it just says to let it cool, which, I mean, who wants a cold brownie? Let's be serious. So we probably will ignore that directive. Like, you know, Picard. He's given directives to the Starship Enterprise. Sorry. Okay, so it says optional add-ins that you could have added: crushed walnuts, peanuts, almonds, pecans, chocolate chips, peanut butter chips, shredded coconut, dried fruit, cranberries, raisins, etc. I mean, obviously you can add anything to your brownies, but we're following the recipe as it's stated. So we're gonna give it 30 minutes. We'll be right back and we're gonna test these things and see if they really are the best brownies in the world. All right, guys, I'm in brownie limbo here. It has been 45 minutes and the brownies still don't really seem done. I think they are, but there's so much like chocolate gooiness going on that the fork trick isn't really working. So I'm gonna pull them out and we're gonna assume they're done. And you'll see I've made quite a mess with all my fork pokes. I poked a fork there, poked a fork there, there. Every time it came out very wet. This was a request from one of you. One of you actually asked, hey, will you cook some brownies? Try the world's best brownies. Look at that, that's coming out clean now, so I think they're good. Hopefully they're not overcooked. The edges might be. But overall, I think they look pretty good. So this is it, the world's best brownies. Now, the recipe tells you to let it cool for 10 to 20 minutes. I'm not gonna do that because, I don't know, I just can't wait. I'm too impatient. And I have kids waiting in the wings, desperate to try these, and they really want to try them right away. So we're gonna pull one out while it's steaming hot, and we're gonna try it, because that's honestly the way I eat them anyways. Let's be real here. If I want a cold brownie, I can go to the bakery at Publix. All right, so here's the brownie. 45 minutes later. Hey, you know what? It held a lot of its structural integrity, even pulling it out. So we're gonna try this now. I always eat my brownies with whipped cream, so we'll try a bite without, but then we're gonna try a bite with, because that's how I'm really gonna judge it. Now this is probably gonna scorch my mouth. We'll see, I hope not, but. All right, moment of truth. World's best brownies. Let's blow on them a little. They definitely look, oops. They definitely look fudgy. Wow. Ooh, goodness, that is hot. Ooh. Super fudgy though, like really, really chocolatey. Let me try it with some whipped cream here. It hurts because it's so hot. Those are great brownies. They are great. I don't want the kids to hear me because we're gonna hear their unbiased opinion. But my opinion is that that is an excellent brownie. Definitely better than the box stuff, for sure. All right, let's get Callie in here and maybe Anna, and we'll see what they say. Now I'm gonna try to let them cool a little bit. And the girls don't need a ton of brownies. It's not even lunch yet. So I'll just make them a little slice, a plate with a little bit. No, I don't need a ton of brownie yet either. Wonder if Elijah wants some. I'll get him a little bit too. See, we're having people over for lunch. So my thought was I'll let them cool and we'll have them as a lunchtime snack as well. All right, so I summoned the brownie testers. We'll see who comes down. I just yelled, "Hey, brownie tester." And we're gonna see, I'm guessing the girls. Here's Callie, here's Anna. Did Elijah come too?
Yes. Ayla, you gonna come?
Elijah's here. All right, so we've got brownies for the kiddos. Hold on, I'm gonna take my microphone out. Okay, and so we can get your unfettered opinion.
I want this one.
Try the brownies and
With
tell.
that whipped cream? With a spoon?
Well, that's all I got.
I want whipped cream!
Okay, we'll put whipped cream on it. We're testing to see if this is the world's best brownie. Take your time, really soak in the flavors. You know, Elijah's our pickiest, so no matter what, he's not gonna like anything.
Hot. I like it.
Okay.
It tastes like a normal brownie from a box.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Callie? Callie's still eating. Elijah, what do you think?
It's too fancy. It's
Too fancy. Elijah says
It's
too
got like
fancy.
so many different ingredients in it.
Oh.
Okay.
I still
okay.
can't think the one me and Emma made were better because there was more chocolate.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, what do you give it out of 10, Anna?
Because I like brownies so much. It's hot. A 10. Because I like brownies.
Because you love brownies. All brownies are the world's best brownies. What about you, Callie? What do you give it? 20 out of 10? Is it the best brownie you've ever had?
No.
Then your scale is broken. Is it the... okay. Elijah, what about you?
I want to
Elijah gives it a 6. All right, so we're going to call that super inconclusive. I don't know. Now that it's cooled a little bit, maybe I should try some more. All right, I got another bite. I'm going to try one more bite and try to make a final call on this. Okay, so... that's an insanely good brownie. The only thing I will say, I would give it like a 10 out of 10. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with this. I could eat this brownie all day. I mean, I'd become 600 pounds, but it's a little one note. It's chocolate on chocolate on chocolate on chocolate. It would probably be a little better if you threw in some like M&Ms, which is more chocolate, peanut butter chips or something like that. Something to add like a little variety. Maybe some just like nuts. Some sort of nuts would be good. But I mean, they're honestly perfect brownies. There's nothing wrong with them. My kids, you know, they are not conclusive judges, sadly. They were all over the place with their results. But yeah, I thought they were excellent brownies. It'll be interesting to see what happens as they cool down, but right now they're really good. It does have like a little bit of a crunch on the top layer, kind of a gooey fudginess on the inside, but not too much. Anyways, really good brownies. Definitely try them out, guys. This video should help you do it. Make sure you subscribe and check out more videos, and let's continue testing the world's best recipes. Thank you, goodbye.